guys, what a crazy week in the entertainment news, but what a crazy week in Los Angeles in general because nepotism at its finest. Because Bronny James got drafted to the Los Angeles Lakers and now is going to play with his dad. What is
This
going on, man?
this is a second round pick, and I'm gonna remove LeBron James and Bronny James. Just remove the names, and I'm just gonna say this is a second round pick that they wasted on a guy who's got 25 games under his belt, averaged less than 5 points a game, less than 12 rebounds a game. What the fuck? If this was any other player, you wouldn't waste your time on this guy. Not on the Lakers. We're talking about the fucking Lakers. This was, LeBron said, I want my son. They said, fuck, okay. And from what I understand, LeBron and the ownership of the Lakers were basically telling all the other owners, don't fuck this up. Don't even try to get him. We want him. And that's so fucked up. But I'm just thinking, this is my opinion. I don't think he's anywhere near the talent of his dad. I think his dad's going to feed him the ball and try to make him look good. It's not going to happen. The rest of the team is going to suffer because of it. And the second that LeBron is out of there, Bronny's traded, and it's the end of the story. This is to sell jerseys, to put butts in the seat, and claim history of dad and son playing together, and that's it. That's my opinion. And I'm a lifelong Lakers fan, so I can say all that shit. I think it's a stupid fucking move by Jeannie and the organization just to appease LeBron. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, it is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But guys, we will be talking about entertainment news. Yes, we're super excited about it. So let's get into it. Hello, everyone. So you want to start a podcast but have no idea where to start? Well, Crazy Ant Media is here to help you. We want to assist you finding your VFE. What's VFE, you ask? Well, that is your voice, your format, and your equipment. These are the three biggest essentials you need to start your podcast. All those hours watching nonstop YouTube videos or all those random website links, those are done. Just hop on a Zoom call with us and we'll talk about everything you need to know to create your own podcast and find your voice. Plus, we will send you home with a 12-page packet over everything we just discussed. It's very in-depth. It is definitely a must-need while trying to start your first podcast. Contact us at info@crazyantmedia.com today so that you can start finding your podcast voice for tomorrow. What's up, guys? Oh my goodness, episode 263 of ITCAFpodcast. Oh my goodness. You guys know your host with the most, myself, J-Lo Fantastic, and the one and only Mao.
What's up?
Man, oh man. And I mean, to credit your name, the more and more sound bites I cut, I'm like, oh my goodness. He definitely got it. He's definitely got the mouth, that's for sure. Oh my goodness. But
What,
be
me?
sure.
Me?
Yes,
Come on.
you, yes. Before teasing the rest of the show, be sure to leave a rating on this podcast. Comment below and tell us what you actually think about the show, because leaving a rating on this podcast actually helps the podcast get seen by more people who enjoy entertainment news, but especially those who are trying to break into the entertainment industry. But we're super excited about this show because, man, oh man, there's a lot going down in Hollywood. Of course, Dustin and I both gave our opinions about the Superman suit, and we'll be giving a little bit more, of course, on this podcast. But, of course, a lot of other things are happening. What's going on with Paramount? What's going on with Disney? A lot, man. A freaking lot. Horizon, Kevin Costner's new movie, is coming out this weekend. Are you going to go see it? Is it going to swim in the pond up the river in Idaho where it was shot? Probably, because it's not going to nearly make enough money to make it back. So
Did not get off to a good start. It did not get off to a good start.
It's going to be very interesting, that's for sure. But before we get started on everything else, be sure to head over to our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. We got the shirts, we got the hats, we got anything and everything you need as far as merchandise needs available right there, man. We're super freaking excited. And then, of course, be sure to follow our film pages on Threads and Instagram. We're at the LP Film, the Lesson Plan Film, on Instagram and Threads, so you can stay up to date with all of the progress on that. Man, oh man, of course, we got to start off with Disney. And, I mean, anxiety for the win. this time. The brilliant minds at Pixar have turned a film about the dreaded emotion into the biggest movie of the year,
Yes.
which is kind of crazy. Thanks to the goodwill of the original 2015 Head Trip, stellar word of mouth, 4 quadrant appeal, and huge back-to-back weekends at the box office, Inside Out 2 has earned $863.1 million globally to overtake the lifetime gross of its predecessor, the 2015's Inside Out, which that one made $859 million worldwide. So, I mean, that's nothing to blink an eye at, if you know what I'm saying. Now, it is now in the ranks of the 19th highest grossing animated film in history on the global basis after 16 days of release. And it is on track to be the first movie of 2024 to join the coveted the $1 billion club.
Yes.
That's right. It outsized the success of has been huge and needed for the struggling movie theaters, that's for sure, and Pixar in general, because they've been struggling. We haven't seen a movie from them in how many years? But now this is invoking a feeling the Disney-owned animation empire hasn't expressed in years, like I just said. But man, oh man, they're rocking and rolling, that's for sure, and it's good to see.
Yes, indeed. And I think, it's going to have another big weekend. It's not as big because they've got some stuff opening, but yeah, it's going to do well. It's going to continue to do well. Here's another thing that's invoking joy. I'm super excited about it because COVID kind of fucked it up for a little while, but guess what? Following a sleepy San Diego Comic-Con last summer because of the actors strike, and the one before that because of COVID, this year's event is about to explode with the return of Marvel to Hall H. Yeah! Traditionally now, the next to last day of San Diego Comic-Con is dedicated to Marvel Studios presentations in the late afternoon. Now, Comic-Con this year runs from July 25th through the 28th. No word yet on what Marvel plans to dazzle us with. However, the studio left big footprints at San Diego Comic-Con 2019 when it announced their Disney Plus and big screen crossovers, and 2022 when they teased their Phase 5 and Phase 6 plans. Now, Marvel Studios' plans for San Diego Comic-Con go down to the wire with never-before-seen clips polished up with music and visual effects. Now, for starters, and I'm just putting some stuff out there, this is happening on the first weekend of Deadpool and Wolverine. So it wouldn't be a surprise if Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were to put in a little special appearance. You never know. That said, maybe, now that we know who they are, the Fantastic Four cast of Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Ebon Moss-Backrack, maybe they show up on stage and go, hey guys, we're here. I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and find out. We know that Ironheart wrapped up. We know that Wonder Man wrapped up. Maybe Thunderbolts is good to go, so maybe we get footage from that. I'm just excited that they're finally back because I've been missing Marvel at Hall H, man. I'm just saying.
For sure. And I mean, speaking of unveiling, Marvel Studios finally unveiled at least one of the supervillains, because I feel like there's going to be multiple for this Deadpool and Wolverine film. It's going to be the one and only Sabretooth. Yes, that's right. New footage shows Hugh Jackman's Wolverine chomping at the bit to stick it to his long-running rival, Sabretooth, with, of course, the Merc with the mouth cheerleading from the sidelines. Now, of course, Sabretooth, played by Tyler Mane, was, of course, one of the first mutants seen in the 2000s X-Men film, although he was a little more than a Magneto henchman who had a brief scrape with Wolverine in the snowy forest. Now he's back in the multiverse shenanigans over 20 years later, and he seems just as angry. Now, in this particular teaser, Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool references this lengthy gap before referring to a few words of advice while pulling swords out of Wolverine's rapidly healing body. Now, Wolverine and Sabretooth then sprint towards each other before the trailer ends, so we didn't even get to see any good stuff. But man, oh man, that it's very exciting, that's for sure.
I gotta tell you, yeah, I loved it. You see him, and it's Taylor Mane, so it's old school, and everything. And yeah, it's fucking hilarious. They're just Deadpool and Wolvie are just standing there arguing, and then they see him, and of course, that's his enemy. That's his main, and he's like, and he pops the claws, and Deadpool's like, whoa, hold up, man. People have been waiting 20 years for this epic fight. You got to do it right. And he's like taking the swords out and shit. It's fucking hilarious. So I love how they continuously poke fun at the past, right? It's like, oh no, everybody wanted to see you guys fight and it never fucking happened. They've been waiting so long for this. Don't fuck it up. Do it right. And, Wolvie's basically shut the fuck up and then goes running after him or whatever. So it's so good, bro. This movie, I'm telling you, 200 million, they keep saying. I think it's going to go well over that for sure. I really do. Another thing, I kind of hinted at it at potentially seeing the cast at Hall H, but guess what? Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has confirmed that Marvel's upcoming The Fantastic Four will indeed, like all the posters and pictures have been hinting at, will indeed be a 1960s set superhero story. Now, speaking on the official Marvel podcast, Feige revealed that The Fantastic Four will be a period piece set in New York City. However, he quickly teased it's probably not the New York City many of us are familiar with. And then he kind of hinted that it's going to take place in a multiverse. It's going to be a different universe than the regular MCU, which, how they're going to merge that, we kind of have that idea in Secret Wars, but he did not confirm that, but we all know that. Anyway, production's set to kick off next month, and it'll debut in theaters in July of next year. So it's getting ready to start filming. It's going to debut next year. I'm excited about this. I like the idea of it being a multiverse. I like the idea of it being set in the 60s. It's kind of a cool retro thing. And, if Secret Wars is what we all think it is, it's going to merge all these multiverses into one kind of a thing. So you're going to get time jumps and all. It's going to be interesting, but I love this idea. It's definitely straying away from what we've seen in the past where they keep fucking up the Fantastic Four, right? So let's set them in the 60s, make it totally different than anything you've ever seen before, and in Marvel we trust. So we'll just have to wait and see.
We shall. But something that we finally did get a glimpse at is a sneak peek at the Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis Freaky Friday 2. Yes, that is right. It is now officially filming, guys. And of course, they are reprising their roles as Anna and Tess Coleman. And of course, no plot details are being leaked or anything yet. We don't know anything, but what we do know is, now there was a little speculation on whether or not Freaky Friday 2 would be exclusively on Disney Plus, but Disney came out and said no. It's going to be coming out in the theaters to everywhere near you, and it's going to be in 2025. So be prepared for that. And of course, the original film grossed about $160 million worldwide. So, I mean, that's nothing to blink an eye at either. So we're excited to see what the sequel will bring. I mean, it's been at least 20 plus years, I feel like. So it's going to be interesting. And I'm this is kind of weird to say, but I'm actually excited to see more Lindsay Lohan. I would love, because I mean, we're always cheering for underdog stories, and I feel like she's put herself in that position. So, I mean, for somebody to have a rebound of a career, I'm always cheered for that, man. Until you fuck it up again, because then you're an asshole.
Well, yeah, let's hope she doesn't do that, right? Let's hope she leans more towards the RDJ story and not, anything else. I totally agree with that. Hey, guess what? Season 3 of The Bear has been served. Yes! Were you like me when you found out it was going to debut late Wednesday night? Were you just anxiously waiting to jump on it? I was, and fuck! Man, Season 3 is so good, y'all. Of course, the Emmy-winning show starring Jeremy Allen White and Ayo Edebiri returned to Hulu earlier this week, like I said, late Wednesday night. Like the first 2 seasons, the streamer dropped all the episodes on day 1, as opposed to a week-to-week release. Now, Season 2 of the restaurant dramedy followed the kitchen crew as they transformed their family-owned sandwich shop into the fine dining spot. The new season continues to focus on the team's effort to transform that gritty sandwich shop into the finer dining destination, which continues to present new challenges. Now, the cast is led by White, of course, who stars alongside Adibri, Eben Moss, Bacharach, Lionel Boyce, Linda Cole Zays, Abby Elliott, and Maddie Matheson. I gotta tell you, the first episode, unlike anything that we've seen in the series so far, very limited to almost no dialogue, all scene driven. It takes place the day after he gets out of the freezer. And then we're kind of doing flashbacks of how he ended up where he is. It's brilliant. It's I don't even know. And episode 2 just boom, even just right there. Hands down, and I know you and I have talked about this, but hands down, we watch a lot of great stuff. And there is a lot. You've heard us talk over the past weeks on the show about all the stuff we're watching and how great it is. But this is hands down the single best show on television right now. Period. Nothing even comes close. I plan on binge watching the rest of it this weekend. I hate that. I should just do one a week, but I'm not. I'm gonna binge watch it all. Fuck it. Yeah. If you guys haven't checked it out, check it out because it's fucking epic, and it got renewed. Just gonna throw that in there too. It's already been renewed for season 4, so boom.
And another one on Hulu. It was this first week of availability. Perfect Wife, the mysterious disappearance of Sherry Pappanini, reached over 3.6 million views. Now, this marks the most watched Hulu docuseries ever, according to that streamer. Now, which calculates views by dividing the total amount of time a project is watched by its runtime. Now, the docuseries, which premiered on June 20th, tells the story of a 2016 Sherry Pappanini kidnapping hoax. Now, the official logline reads, Keith and Sherry are seemingly ideological, are a very strategic fucking regular family. That life is shattered when Sherry vanishes from their Northern California neighborhood, triggering a frenzy, shared or search that becomes news around the world. Now, with unprecedented access to Sherry's family and friends, as well as the investigators who struggled for 6 years to solve the mystery of her disappearance. Now, this limited docuseries immediately explores the jaw-dropping revelations of a relationship that wasn't what it seemed. So, everybody loves this type of stuff, so I'm not surprised that it's very popular.
Oh yeah. Same. Yeah, the true crime stuff, it's it. It's the thing everybody wants. All right, let's jump on over to the bunny where CNN says that watched healthcare, the border, they've endorsed me and I think everything's I have a 8 handicapped
That was more coherent than the debate last time.
Exactly. If you guys watched this, and a lot of people did, I'm of course referencing the presidential debate last night. CNN says that 47.9 million people tuned in to watch the debate across the TV platforms last night, according to the fast national data. Now, the debate audience was, get this, considerably down from the 2020, when the 73.1 million people tuned in to watch the first debate between Biden and Trump. The audience was also way below the first Trump-Clinton debate in 2016, when 84 million people tuned into that one. Now, previous general election debates have, of course, taken place in the fall, so this one is way early, and normally the viewership is traditionally higher when they debut in the fall. So of the 47.9 million, though, get this, you guys, just 12.6 million were in the age range of 25 to 54 demographic. And of those, 18 to 34, less than 4 million, 3.92. So that should be concerning, because that says this election is not engaging young voters. That is a problem. That it could be also is also a problem. I'm just saying, and the other guys talking about taking live babies from stomachs, setting them aside and killing them. What the fuck? What the fuck? Please, somebody come out of the woodworks and give me somebody to fucking vote for. That's all I'm saying, just because.
RFK is still there. RFK Jr.
He is.
Who they completely did not let debate, but we'll get into
that.
But
was on a stage anyway, debating with them. Did you see that? I even had a moderator. That was brilliant. They asked a question and then they would pause the live thing and let him answer the question and then jump back into that. That was fucking brilliant. And at one point, more than 1 million people were watching him. So, I mean, the guy's there. He's still there.
He is. I saw he's now putting out promos where he's like exercising and doing pull-ups and stuff. It's like, I bet the other two can't do that. It's fine. Anyway, Warner Brothers has announced a slew of changes to their release schedule, most notably slotting an untitled event film from legendary and Dune director Denis Villeneuve for December 18th of 2026. Now, that one's going to be an IMAX, so be prepared for that. Legendary is also working with Villeneuve to develop a third Dune film, of course. We talked about this one before. Dune Part 2, of course, earned $282 million domestically and $711 million worldwide, and was the top grossing film of 2024 before Disney's and Pixar's Inside Out 2 dethroned it this past week. Now, elsewhere on the Warner Brothers release calendar, an untitled MonsterVerse film has also been slated for March 26th of 2027. An animated film from Warner Brothers Pictures Animation and Locksmith, previously set for the same date, has been removed altogether from the calendar, which really sucks because I feel like Warner Brothers is not in the family field when it comes to making content for younger audiences.
No, they keep selling all that shit off to other streamers. Like, what the fuck?
Super
We'll talk about that a little later. Okay, so we've been talking about all this, right? Inside Out 2 and Dune 2 and all this massive money that's being made, right? Well, this one's not making massive money, y'all. Kevin Costner's big budget Western, Horizon, the first of a planned 4-part film series, it only made $800,000 in Thursday night previews and is now projected to only make just $10 to $15 million on its opening weekend. Now, that's a worrying start due to the fact that the price tag on the first one cost $100 million, and the Part 2 sequel is already coming in August. Now, his longtime studio partner, Warner Brothers, is actually distributing the film. However, they didn't have much confidence in it because they didn't pay a dime for it, and they're not even marketing it. They're not even paying for marketing, y'all. Now, in return for distributing it, the film in the U.S. and international territories, Warner Brothers will receive roughly 8% of the Horizon box office grosses, which apparently is not going to be too much. Costner, though, get this, y'all. He very bluntly revealed that he spent $38 million of his own money to get the movies made, an unusually candid disclosure from the A-lister who has been forced to bet on himself. It's a bet that's going to fail. He's going to lose $38 million, and he's going to not even see a dime because any money that is made is going to Warner Brothers. And if the other two get made, I'll be shocked.
Right.
I don't know how you justify it. I don't know how anybody backs it if this first one bombs and the second one's already made and is going to bomb. I don't see how you greenlight the next two. I just don't.
Yeah, completely agree. But next week, I'll let you know what I think about it because I have tickets for it. So I'm interested.
It better be worth sitting there for 3 hours. That's all I'm going to say. Because if
3 hours and 1 minute.
Yeah.
3 hours and 1 minute.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, man. But excitement hit new highs this past week when photos from the set of the Superman were leaked online. Now, the set pictures gave fans a first look at David Cornsweet in the superhero suit. Now, the 30-year-old actor was spotted on set alongside Eddie Gathegi, who is portraying Mr. Terrific. Now, unlike the first look image of Superman's new suit, which gave the impression that Gunn's movie would be another dark and gritty take on the DC superhero, these pictures confirm that that is not the case at all. Now, indeed, the costume, which takes inspiration from numerous Superman comics, including the New 52 and Kingdom Come, is much brighter and more colorful than Zack Snyder's take on the Kryptonian. Now, Superman and DC fans weren't just treated to a new glimpse of the legendary hero's new costume, with other leaked images confirming that Cornsweet's Kal-El and Clark Kent was joined on set as well by Rachel Brosnahan, who plays Soup's paternal lover, Lois Lane, of course. And then, of course, Wendell Pierce, portraying Perry White, the editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet.
Yep.
Now, the scene being shot involves Superman assisting the armed forces in an aftermath of a crash, likely involved an airplane, because it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's not. It's Cornsweet. We also got our first look at Dave Cornsweet's Clark Kent, which looked interesting, which I didn't know Superman was Jewish, but he is. So there it is, guys. There it is. What did y'all think about the suit? We want to know. Like we said on our TikToks and all the places, be sure to comment below what you actually thought. But yeah, very, very interesting. And I mean, it looks so loose. It looks so loose. That was my biggest thing.
I have a theory on that.
Much more deep contact with all the superhero stuff, but yeah, just with it being so loose, I'm like, bro, you're swimming in it.
So I have a theory on that. Hear me out. the very first image that he released, right, just that kind of little bit of the S that we saw with the snow on it and everything, the texture on that looked a tad different than what we see in these new pictures. And I think, because remember, they've already confirmed, James Gunn already confirmed that the suit is made by Mom. Mom made the suit for him. I think the suit that we're seeing him in right now, that you think is kind of not fitting properly and not, a little too loose kind of thing, I think that's the suit that Mom makes. And then I think he goes to the Fortress of Solitude and he gets an upgrade to the suit. It's going to look the same, but it's going to be more polished. It's going to be more fitting. The texture is going to be a little bit different. I think that's my theory on it, because that initial picture looked a tad different. Even the one that they showed when he was putting on the boots looked a little bit different than what we're seeing in this. So my theory is he's going to get the upgrade, and it's going to be more Kryptonian type looking than Mom's suit that she made him. And I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there because it would make total sense if it just doesn't fit completely right because Mom made it and put it together and he's wearing it, kind of a thing. So I don't know.
We won't know until we know. That's for sure. We won't know until we know.
But it's a theory. That's all I'm saying. This other one now, this really excites me too because there's finally some movement here. HBO has officially picked up Lanterns, the first live-action series created expressly for DC Studios under co-chairman and co-CEOs, obviously James Gunn and Peter Safran. Now, this series has been given an 8-episode straight-to-series order by HBO, with Chris Mundy serving as showrunner and executive producer. Also on board are Damon Lindelof and Tom King, who will serve as executive producers and co-write Lanterns with Mundy. Now, Warner Brothers TV is producing the DC studios, and HBO, the show, is based, of course, on DC Comics' Green Lantern. Now, this is why I'm getting really excited. We know we're going to see Guy Gardner in the Superman movie, his version of Green Lantern. But this series is going to follow Hal Jordan and John Stewart, two other members of the Green Lantern Corps, obviously, an intergalactic team charged with defending the specific realm of the cosmos from evil through the use of their rings that bestow an array of superhuman powers. Now, per the logline, new recruit John Stewart and Lantern legend Hal Jordan are two intergalactic cops drawn into a dark Earth-based mystery as they investigate a murder in the American heartland. I'm just thrilled. I was a little disappointed when we heard it was going to be Guy Gardner, the first Green Lantern that we were going to see. But now that we know we're getting Hal Jordan, because Hal Jordan is most people's Green Lantern. I know you got Alan Scott, Golden Age or whatever, but Hal Jordan is the one we all know, right? And then thanks to Justice League Unlimited, the animated stuff, John Stewart. That's another famous one everybody knows. Guy Gardner, not so much. Not unless you're a comic geek, you really don't know Guy Gardner. So the idea that we're finally going to get Hal Jordan live kicking ass. Oh, excited. Excited!
All good things, man. All good things. But yet, there is another example of Warner Brothers Discovery focusing time on things that honestly don't matter.
Yeah.
Let's be honest about it. Because it's not Max, it's HBO. That's right. HBO and Max Content CEO Casey Bloys is changing what it means and wants to define what it means to be an HBO show or a Max show, and moving most of its Max upcoming big budget tentpole to Warner Brothers IP projects under the HBO umbrella. That means the upcoming Harry Potter TV show, as well as the It prequel series, Welcome to Derry, and the Green Lantern adaptation that we just told you about, will all be branded as HBO originals. This is a switch from the most recent decision to take place all series based on Warner Brothers IP in the Max bucket, which was the first established when Bloys added oversight of Max in 2020. Now, Bloys said of that initial distinction, quote, "We feel like we need to differentiate basically between an HBO show and a Max show. The idea of using Warner Brothers IP for a Max felt right, and at least that gives you a clear lane. The change officially takes effect with shows launching in 2025. That means The Penguin and The Dune Prophecy, both which will premiere later this year, are expected to be called Max Originals." This is stupid. There's no reason for people to delegate time and effort into defining what's an HBO show and what's a Max show. Like, You have bigger problems at hand. What are you doing with your time? What are you doing with your employees' time? It's all getting watched in the same place. Like, I don't understand. It's so
You
stupid.
just said it right there. It's all getting watched in the same place. So why did they ever fuck the name up? You should have just kept it HBO Max, and then it wouldn't matter whether it was a fucking HBO show or a Max show, because they're all airing on the same fucking place. You should have just kept it HBO Max, and that been that. Like, what the fuck? I'm right there with you. Just dumbass decisions by. Well, I'm not going to say dumbass people because they're smart people, but they're making dumbass decisions. Yeah. Godzilla vs. Kong, The New Empire, is going to be available to stream really soon, you guys, like next week. And it's going to be on Max, not HBO. It starts July 4th. Perfect day to kick it off. The film was, of course, a box office hit earlier this year with $196 million at the domestic box office, $567 million worldwide, and it's still playing in some places, you guys. The latest film in the MonsterVerse franchise was released in theaters back in March and opened to a huge $80 million at the box office, making the second highest MonsterVerse movie debut. A version of the film with American Sign Language will also stream exclusively on Max the same day. It was produced by American Sign Language performer Otis Jones. That's really cool. That's fucking awesome. But so there you go. If you haven't caught it at the theaters, you only got to wait a few more days. You can watch it at home. There you go.
There it is. There it is. And just like that, has added Logan Marshall Green, Matt Cad Brooks, and Jonathan Cake to its season 3 cast, recurring stars. Additionally, season 2 recurring guest stars are Sebastiano Pegazzali and Dolly Wells have been added to the series regulars. A sequel to Sex and the City, of course, and just like that follows Carrie, who is Sarah Jessica Parker, Miranda, and Charlotte, Kristen Davis, as they navigate friendship and family in New York in their 50s. But I'm pretty sure no one cares anymore because no one's talking about this thing.
No,
please
it's just,
let it die.
You know why? Because Samantha's not there. I think Samantha was the draw of the show, and she's not a part of it, and so nobody gives a shit. That's my theory. I'm just saying. All right, let's jump over to Paramount.
It's like everything else, though. But I mean, I think it's like everything else because the world changes and people change. Even the people who watched this show originally, everything just changes. Like you couldn't do an update on Friends today because you shouldn't. You couldn't do an update on like freaking Big Bang Theory or something like that. Like it's just classic. Don't go back to something that was perfect already. It's just dumb.
Agreed. All right, what's not dumb, jumping over to Paramount, is A Quiet Place, which is already making some noise. The third entry in Paramount's apocalyptic series, A Quiet Place Day 1, has opened in theaters and made $6.8 million at the box office in its Thursday previews. A little bit better than Horizon. After the 2018 original movie and the 2021 sequel, Day 1 goes back in time to the early stages of the alien invasion that destroyed society. It's aiming for an opening now between 40 and 50 million, which is right in line with the previous two films. Krasinski's first A Quiet Place opened at 50.2 million in 2018 after making 4.3 million in its previews, while the sequel launched during the pandemic and made 48 million after 4.8 million in its Thursday night previews. Now, considering Krasinski didn't return to direct or appear in the new one, A Quiet Place Day 1, the box office projection bodes pretty well for a prequel with a mostly new cast. Lupita Nyong'o, Joseph Quinn, and Alex Wolff star in this new movie, which is set in New York City on the first day of the invasion. Damon Hasu also reprises his role from A Quiet Place Part 2. So there's a lot of noise in this one. They're not quiet yet because it's day one. So people are going to be talking and shit. It's going to be different.
For sure, man. For sure. Well, Sarah Michelle Gellar has signed on to play Dexter Morgan's new boss at the Miami Metro Police Department in the upcoming Dexter prequel series. Now, Dexter, the original Sin, Gellar will play the special guest star of Tanya Martin, the CIA CSI chief at the Miami Metro Police Department, and Dexter Morgan's new boss. She joins the previously announced cast starring in the Dexter prequel series, including Christian Slater as Harry Morgan, Patrick Gibson as Dexter Morgan, Patrick Dempsey as Aaron Spencer, Molly Brown as Deborah Morgan, James Martinez as Angel Batista, Christina Milian as Maria Lacatria, Alex Shimizu as Vince Muskai, and Reno Wilson as Bobby Watt. So that thing is coming all together, man.
Yeah, and pretty well done on those names right there. That was pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Tulsa King, we now know, will return to Paramount Plus on September 15th as Sly fights to defend his growing criminal empire in Season 2. Now, in the new season, Stallone's Dwight works with his crew to fight off looming threats from Kansas City mob and one powerful local businessman. Dwight struggles to keep his family and crew safe while keeping track of all of his affairs. That's according to the log line. Plus, he still has some unfinished business back in New York. All right? I mean, gangsters, they always have business in New York. I'm just saying. Like, can they not? I'm just saying. I'm excited about this. Man. I liked the first season. So I'm excited for it.
There you go, man. There you go. Well, another Frasier alum is set to return to the series in the new revival. Harriet Sampson Harris, who originally played Frasier Crane's agent, Bebe Glazer, is back to guest star in Season 2. Joining her will be crazy ex-girlfriend star Rachel Bloom, who will play Bebe's daughter, Phoebe Glazer. And as described by the show, the delightfully devilish Baby Glazer, one of the show's most iconic characters, is known for her dramatic flair and outrageous crazy maneuvers. Bebe will stop at nothing to get what she wants. As for Phoebe, having inherited her mother's abominable charm, Phoebe boasts her magnetic personality as well as the taste for finer things. Now, Frasier is midway through production on Season 2 at Paramount Studios in Los Angeles.
Cool. You guys know I'm a huge Frasier fan. I love it. I'm excited to see all the old people returning. This is exciting, too. Jeffrey Wright has apparently joined the cast of Paramount Plus with Showtime. That's what they're calling it now. What the fuck? It's upcoming political thriller, The Agency. Now, the series is, of course, as we told you on a couple shows ago, led by Michael Fassbender as Martian, a covert CIA agent. Now, George Clooney serves as executive producer on this bad boy. Wright will play Henry, the CIA's director of operations overseeing non-official cover agents, and a mentor to Martian. The Agency is based on the hit French series The Bureau, which ran on Canal Plus from 2015 to 2020. Now, per the official logline, the new series follows Martian as he's ordered to abandon his undercover life and return to the London station. When the love he left behind reappears, romance reignites. His career, his real identity, and his mission are all pitted against his heart, hurtling them both into a deadly game of international intrigue and espionage. So, that sounds badass. I like it. I like it.
For sure, man. For sure. Well, that's not it for Paramount and Paramount Plus. They have released the trailer and key art for the 7th and final season of the original drama series SEAL Team, which premieres on August 11th. According to the official logline, the series follows the lives of Navy SEALs' most elite unit as they execute dangerous high-stakes operations to defend their country at a deeply personal cost. Now, in the final season, Jason Hayes struggles to balance his warrior's existence with the responsibilities of single fatherhood. Now, Ray Perry, his trusted second-in-command, questions whether he'll be able to leave the battlefield behind as his retirement nears. I know that's very PTSD helming, so yeah, man, I mean, it should be a good send-off, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. And I like when they finish shows the right way and give it a good send-off, so that's good. Hey, throwing it back to our top 5 last week in one of your movies, Van Helsing, guess what? He's turning into a crime fighter in a new television series in development at CBS. Apparently, Jonathan Lee is writing this bad boy, which is in the works at Paramount-owned broadcaster. It's believed to have landed at CBS after a hotly contested auction. Now, per the logline, the series is a contemporary take on the monster hunter, Dr. Abraham Van Helsing, who uses his uniquely inquisitive mind working alongside his ex, relentless FBI special agent Mina Harker, to solve New York City's most harrowing cases. Now, as we just mentioned, and if you paid attention to our top 5 last week, there was a 2004 action horror film starring the one and only Hugh Jackman as Van Helsing, alongside Kate Beckinsale as Anna Valerius. And I liked it. I was right there with you. I liked Van Helsing. I'm kind of interested in the series to see what they do.
Yeah, for sure, man. Me too. Well, we're heading over to NBC Universal. Universal's Twisters, the Glenn Powell and Daisy Edgar Jones sequel to the 96 action movie Twister, is looking at a $50 million start when it opens July 19th. Now, back in 1996, the first movie by Warner Brothers, and directed by Jan D. Bont, opened to $41 million and went on to make $241.7 domestic. Now, Twisters was one of the top 4 trailers to make an impact in 24 hours coming out of the Super Bowl in February, with a social media viewership north of 29 million. Now, this is per Relish Mix. Now, that indicator means the tremendous amount in terms of audiences long-term who want to see the film. And I know Emily and I are talking about we want to get a big group to go see this one. So I think it's going to be a lot of that. Big group's going to go see this.
Hell yeah. I think it's going to be like just awesome. I loved the original. I think this one's going to be just amazing. This next one I actually saw when I went and saw the Bike Riders. I saw this trailer and it is weird as fuck. And it's probably because it's made by the guy that made The Lighthouse. I'm just saying. Bill Skarsgård is transforming into Nosferatu in Robert Eggers' upcoming reimagining of the iconic 1922 German expressionist silent film. But horror fans will have to keep waiting to see Skarsgård's full appearance as Count Orlok, as the movie's first trailer from Focus Features continues to keep the vampire's complete look a mystery. Now, Skarsgård is barely seen in the clip outside of a few quick shots, but his character's haunting presence, large as loom, or looms large. What am I talking about? Nosferatu is, of course, a gothic tale of obsession between a haunted young woman and the terrifying vampire that he's infatuated with her, causing untold horror in its wake. Now, Lily Rose Depp will star as Ellen Hutter, the woman that Nosferatu is obsessed with. Nicholas Hoult is Thomas Hutter, Ellen's husband, and the real estate agent who comes into contact with the new client, not knowing that the Count is centuries-old vampire. Now, Nosferatu is scheduled to release in theaters on Christmas Day. Now, this screams Christmas movie to me, no doubt. Yeah, let's just go with that.
That's going to be a bad opening, man.
It's going to be horrible, man. Let's go see this scary-ass vampire on Christmas, kids. Let's go.
That's wild. That really is. Well, Universal Pictures has landed the rights to the Vicious Circle. Boom! Now, Studio's graphic novel series, created by Terminator Zero showrunner Madsen Tomlin and the artist Lee DiMaggio. Tomlin will write the screenplay, adapting his own work, while Ryan Coogler, the filmmaker, of course, behind Black Panther movies, will produce via his Proximity Media banner. Now, Circle is a two-hander action thriller about assassins from the future hunting each other through time. John Wick meets Looper is how it's being described, so be prepared for that. I mean, that definitely sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, and I like that Stan Lee's old studio is making shit. I wonder if the daughter's making any money off of it. Focus Features has slated Downton Abbey 3 for global release on September 12th of next year. Now, currently in production in the UK, the film is once again penned by Downton creator Julian Fellows, with Simon Curtis returning to direct after he helmed 2022's Downton Abbey: A New Era. Now, little is known about the plot on this new one, but A New Era ended in the late 1920s with the sad death of Maggie Smith's Grand Crawley matriarch, Lady Violet, who passed the torch to her granddaughter, Dockery's Lady Mary, to keep things ticking over at Downton. So I'm assuming this next one is going to carry on the story with Lady Marcy. Or Lady Mary. I'm just saying. Seems like that would be the call.
You would think. Well, Dominic Purcell and Wentworth Miller are set to star of Snatchback, a series in development at Universal Television. The official logline for Snatchback reads, inspired by the life of the real covert intelligence officer who is still active in the field today, The series follows a highly skilled, privately contracted team of operatives as they recover hostages across the globe from some of the most exotic and equally dangerous locations on the planet. Now, the series reunites Purcell and Miller, who led Fox's Prison Break, as brothers, Lincoln Burrows and Michael Schofield, for 4 seasons from 2006 to 2009. Now, the pair also both appeared in the CW Arrowverse series The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow, with Miller playing Leonard Stark, a.k.a. Captain Cold, and Purcell playing Mick Rory, a.k.a. Heatwave. So that's very exciting. It seems like those two really enjoy working together, so it's cool that they're starting a whole new thing.
Oh, yeah, and they have a really great chemistry together. They're just really solid, so yeah, I love it. All right, let's jump on over to Sony, and this looks like it's going to be really original and something I'm really excited about. Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, Jenny! We're getting Forrest and Jenny back together. They're going to appear decades younger in the first look photos and trailer from Here, their highly anticipated reunion with Forrest Gump director Robert Zemeckis. Now, the movie was even co-written by Zemeckis and Forrest Gump scribe Eric Roth. Now, based on Richard Maguire's 2014 graphic novel of the same name, Here takes place across a century in a single location. Now get this is why it's going to be awesome and it's going to be original. The camera never moves from a fixed position inside the home for the entire 104-minute runtime. As viewers are treated to the stories of the people who made a home there, the central couple will be played by Hanks and Wright. Here is set to open in theaters nationwide on November 15th from Sony. That's awesome. You're basically going to just be looking at the same shot the whole time over 100 years with different families living in the house. That's going to be badass. Like, I love that. I love the idea of it, and who doesn't love Tom Hanks and Robin Wright together? Forever Forrest and Jenny. Come on. Fuck.
It's definitely original. That's all we asked for.
It's exactly.
Oh my goodness. Well, Street Fighter has landed a March 20th, 2026 domestic release date from Sony. Now, the film and from Legendary is being co-developed and produced with Japanese game distributor Capcom. Legendary nabbed the film and television rights to the highly popular gaming series back in 2023. Oh, so long ago. Since the franchise launched in 1987, the Street Fighter has sold over 49 million units worldwide, becoming one of the most well-known and highest-grossing video game franchises of all time. Now, Legendary, which has a distribution deal with Sony, has experience with adaptations of all kinds, including novels, comic books, and more, with like Dune, Godzilla vs. Kong, Pokemon, Detective Pikachu, and, of course, Enola Holmes. The company cut ties with Warner Brothers, which released Dune Part 2 earlier this year, but they still got that good relationship with Netflix. So,
yes.
All good things, man. All good things. Sounds interesting, that's for sure.
It does. I mean, and they're doing well. Like you said in that story, they're doing well. So just keep making them. You know who else is doing well? Mark Wahlberg. He has 2 fucking fantastic looking movies coming out. I watched both trailers, and here's the first one over at Lionsgate. It's released the trailer for Mel Gibson's high-flying action thriller Flight Risk, starring Mark Wahlberg. Now, per the official logline, the film follows a pilot, played by Wahlberg, transporting an air marshal, Michelle Dockery, accompanying a fugitive, played by Topher Grace, to trial. Now, as they cross the Alaskan wilderness, tensions soar and trust is tested, as not everyone on board is who they seem. Now, Flight Risk marks the 3rd collaboration between Gibson and Wahlberg. The first was in the 2017 comedy Daddy's Home 2, followed by Father Stew in 2022. But this will be Wahlberg's first time acting under Gibson as a director. Flight Risk hits theaters on October 18th. This fucking thing looks intense, and Wahlberg's like ball. He's got a ball. It looks pretty fucking badass. I'm excited for this one.
Oh, for sure, man. For sure. Now, A24, the most original studio in Hollywood right now, they have released the first trailer of their latest horror film, Heretic, which stars Hugh Grant as a man who visited by 2 young Mormon missionaries, who he then puts through an intense series of psychological games. Now, Heretic is written and directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, who broke through with their script for John Krasinski's 2018 horror film, The Quiet Place. So, All good things, man. All good things. I'm
Hell
really
yeah.
just waiting for A24 to like make a comedy. I mean,
Right.
they've been doing all of this experimental like drama and freaking horror stuff, but I'm ready for a comedy from them. It'd be interesting.
Hell yeah. And I don't know if you watched this trailer, but it is scary as fuck. Hugh Grant
Yeah.
looks like fuck that. You don't want to go in that house. Jumping over to Amazon MGM Studios. Here's another one that I was just dying out laughing out loud with this trailer. It looks fucking amazing. It's going to be great. Amazon MGM Studios released the trailer for the Yuletide action adventure Red One, starring Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans, and J.K. Simmons as Saint Nick himself, Santa Claus. Now, per the official synopsis, after Santa Claus, codename Red One, is kidnapped, the North Pole's head of security, played by The Rock, must team up with the world's most infamous bounty hunter, played by Evans, in a globe-trotting, action-packed mission to save Christmas. Now, Johnson also revealed the poster for Red One, which resembles a wanted poster for Simmons' Santa Claus. Red One hits theaters November 15th. This one looks fucking hilarious. Just Chris Evans at the very thing getting the rundown, and he's like, let me get this straight. You're trying to tell me that Santa Claus was kidnapped. Like he just doesn't believe it, but it's so fucking funny. The whole thing starts with J.K. Simmons lifting like just a shit ton of weight, showing the guns, because JK's ripped now lately, and I'm just like, fucking Santa ripped lifting with The Rock, just right there. You had me. I'm like, this thing's gonna be fucking great.
I love that. That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, great casting too. I mean, great freaking casting.
Oh yeah.
Audrey Plaza doles out wisdom for her younger self in the first trailer of My Old Ass, a coming-of-age comedy that premiered to rave reviews at Sundance Film Festival. Now, the film takes place summer before 18-year-old Ellery Labrent, Macy Stella of Lennon and Maisie fame, heads to college in Toronto. Now, in the trailer, Plaza shows up as a middle-aged version of herself, while the present-day Elliot is tripping on shrooms in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Amazon MGM bought My Old Ass for $15 million and one of the year's biggest Sundance sales. Now, the studio plans to open the film in limited theaters September 13th with a national rollout to follow. Now, Lucky Chap, the company co-founded by Margot Robbie, Tom Arkley, and Josie McNamara, produced the film with Cynthia Films and Indian Paintbrush. So, sounds very interesting. So I'm excited to see that one.
Oh yeah, I love the trailer. I thought it was hilarious. And if you watch the trailer, you understand why it's called This Old Ass or My Old Ass. It's fucking hilarious. Like what you were just saying about A24, Margot Robbie's Lucky Chap's another company that's just putting out original shit, man. They're just jumping all over original stuff, and I love that we've got creators taking chances on original shit like that. I'm all in on that. I'm also all in on this fucking bad boy. Prime Video has debuted not the little teaser that we told you about last week, but the first full trailer for Batman Caped Crusader, the new animated series executive produced by Batman the Animated Series co-creator Bruce Timm, as well as J.J. Abrams and the Batman director Matt Reeves. Now, the first footage reveals a brewing gang war in Gotham City, as well as a police campaign to hunt down Batman. The trailer also teases numerous villains from the DC Comics, including the Penguin, Catwoman, Harley Quinn, and DA-turned-criminal Harvey Dent, aka Two-Face. Now, viewers are also given a preview of Hamish Linklater's voice performance as the Caped Crusader / Bruce Wayne. Okay, we talked about that last week, the shoes that he had, and how I like it. He did a little spin on it, but it sounds good. It sounds original. I'm all in. Good job. I think he's going to do okay with it. Prime Video placed a 2-season order for the animated series after the project was scrapped by its original distributor, Warner Brothers, Discovery's streamer Max. Now, Caped Crusader will premiere all 10 episodes on Prime Video on August 1st. I'm so fucking excited about it, bro. I think it's going to be good.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Except for Fat Alfred.
Well. Yeah, you know. ER alum Gloria Rubin has joined the cast of Prime Video's upcoming series, The Better Sister, which also stars Jessica Biel, Elizabeth Banks, Corey Stoll, and Matthew Modine.
Oh, shit.
Based on the novel by Alfair Burke, The Better Sister stars Biel as Chloe, a woman whose life is upended when her husband, Adam, is brutally murdered, and the prime suspect shocks the family and exposes many, many secrets. Banks plays Chloe's sister, Nikki, who hustles to make ends meet while trying to stay clean. Ruben will play Michelle Sanders, described as a respected lawyer who has made a career of standing up when she is told to sit down. Michelle Sanders faces a new kind of challenge when she crosses paths with the sisters. So sounds interesting, that's for sure.
It does. Fucking epic cast, so there you go. All right, jumping on over to Netflix, and I'm going to tell you about Mark Wahlberg film number 2, which also sounds amazing, and the trailer was fantastic. High school sweethearts become super spies in the action comedy The Union, starring Mr. Wahlberg again, and the lovely Halle Berry. It's premiering on Netflix August 16th. Now, get this. The film follows Roxanne, played, of course, by Halle Berry, who reunites with her ex-boyfriend Mike, played, of course, by Wahlberg, at a bar and sweeps him off his feet, only to tranquilize him and transport him to New Jersey to London. Now, after a list containing the identities of every U.S. spy was stolen, Roxanne recruits Mike, who she calls a nobody, to retrieve it. Now, when Mike asks Roxanne and her boss, played by J.K. Simmons, who's also killing it, if they work for the FBI, she responds, "We work for the Union." Soon, Mike is being trained by his ex-flame, sprinting atop London buildings, shooting at targets, and protecting a briefcase while he's chased across Europe. Now, The Union is directed by Julian Ferrano and written by Joe Barton and David Guggenheim. The cast also features Mike Coulter, Adewale Ekwini Agjabi, Jessica DeGao, Alice Lee, hey, our former guest and buddy, Alice Lee, that's awesome, and Jackie Earl Haley. This trailer looked hilarious. I think this is going to be another good one, and Wahlberg's killing it lately, bro. He's just, and it doesn't matter where, right? Lionsgate, Netflix, whatever, just fucking wherever, he's killing it.
Exactly. Well, Greta Lee is the latest to join the ensemble for Kathryn Bigelow's next film at Netflix.
Oh, shit.
Now, the untitled thriller also stars Idris Elba, Rebecca Ferguson, Jared Harris, Gabrielle Basso, and many more. Now, Bigelow will direct this thing, of course. The film's title and plot remain way under wraps, but according to the sources that are telling us things, it will be set at the White House as a national crisis unfolds. Now, the project marks Bigelow's first feature with since the 2017 thriller Detroit. Now, Lee is coming off a big year, which included reprising her scene-stealing role in the season 3 of The Morning Show, as well as her critically acclaimed performance in A24's Past Life. So be sure to check that out, man. Super excited about that. She's a rising up-and-comer. We're super excited about her.
Oh, yeah, she's phenomenal. And fuck, with Kathryn Bigelow fucking directing her, that's going to be epic.
Yeah.
Chloe East from Fabelman's fame is set to apparently recur in a key role opposite Ray Romano and Lisa Kudrow in Netflix's upcoming comedy series No Good Deed from creator Liz Feldman. Now, the 8-episode series is a half-hour dark comedy that follows 3 very different families vying to buy the same 1920s Spanish-style villa that they think will solve all their problems. But, as the sellers have already discovered, sometimes the home of your dreams can be a total fucking nightmare. East will play Emily Morgan, Paul, and Lydia Morgan's artsy but put-together daughter. She has been away at college, but there may be other reasons that she's been so distant. That sounds good. I mean, Ray Romano and Lisa Kudrow. You can't go wrong with that, right? Like, come on.
Exactly. Well, Netflix's upcoming limited series Untamed has added Lily Santiago and Wilson Bethel to its cast of series regulars. Now, per the official logline, the mystery thriller stars Eric Bana as a Kyle Turner, the special agent for the National Park Service who works to enforce human law in nature's vast wilderness. Now, the investigation of a brutal death sends Turner on a collision course with the dark secrets within the park. Now, and its own past. Oh, shoot. Sam Neill and Rosemary DeWitt also star in this bad boy.
Well, I'm Wilson Bethel. I'm all in. I fucking love.
Right.
He's great. Let's jump on over to Apple, where Hijack is getting season 2. We heard it. We are. It was only supposed to be a one-off, but it's coming. And it's gathering steam with a trio of new faces set to join the cast. Now, Top Boy's Claire Hope Ashidi, Carmia Adams and Christian Nathe will all star alongside Idris Elba, who returns, of course, as Prime Negotiator Sam Nelson. Now, plot details for season 2 are still being kept under wraps, but filming is already underway. Now, as I said, this was originally intended to just be a standalone limited series, but the first season of the show was a huge breakout hit for Apple TV Plus, becoming one of the streamer's most watched dramas and spawning a number of imitators. So it only made sense they greenlit this thing for a second season. Told almost in real time, if you didn't watch the first season, it's across 7 episodes, and the first season of Hijack followed Negotiator Nelson as he finds himself trying to thwart a hijacking plot while flying from Dubai to London. It's fun. It was badass. I loved it, and I'm glad they're doing a season 2. I don't know what they're gonna do, but it's gonna be great, I think.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Well, season 4 of Gary Oldman-led espionage drama Slow Horses will return to Apple TV Plus September 4th with 2 episodes to premiere. Based on the novel Spook Street by Mick Herron, the series follows Oldman as Jackson Lamp, a pessimistic intelligence agent who must lead M15's dumping grounds department known as Slaw House. After a career-ending incident, now of course per the official logline, the new season opens with a bombing that detonates personal secrets, rocking the already unstable foundations of the Slow House. So there it is, man.
Intense. Also intense, Apple TV Plus revealed a first look at its psychological thriller series Disclaimer, starring Cate Blanchett and Kevin Kline. Now, this 7-episode limited series will make its global debut October 11th, with the first 2 episodes followed by episodes every Friday through November 15th. Now, you know it. We're going to tell you what the logline says. It's acclaimed journalist Kathryn Ravenscroft built her reputation revealing the misdeeds and transgressions of others. When she receives a novel from an unknown author, she's horrified to realize she is now the main character in a story that exposes her darkest secrets. As Kathryn races to uncover the writer's true identity, she is forced to confront her past before it destroys both her own life and her relationships with her husband and their son, Nicholas. That sounds fucking intense. You're just exposing everybody's secrets, and then all of a sudden, here's a book with all your shit.
Right? Goodness gracious. Wow. Well, rounding out the industry news, Apple TV Plus has turned to the producers of Emmy winners 911 One Day in America, or 9/11 One Day in America, to tell the story of the Vietnam War. Now, 72 Films, the British production company owned by Fremantle, will mix immersion archive footage with first-person testimony for Apple's 6-part documentary series, Vietnam, the War That Changed America. The show has been commissioned to mark the 50th anniversary of the fall of,
Saigon.
Saigon. And will bring together soldiers and civilians on all sides who lived through the conflict. Each episode features reunions and emotional stories told by those who faced agonizing life or death situations and impossible moral decisions. Yeah, I mean, I must say, a lot of people got fucked up from this war, so
yeah,
it only makes sense. I'm excited about this documentary.
Me too. Anytime we're telling real life stories of heroes and or wars that just, yeah, I'm all in. I'm right there with you, man. It's gonna be a good one
for sure. All right, and we're back, and now it is time for the top 5 segment, man. And this week it is critically acclaimed films that we just don't like, that we hate, that we just never want to see again, that you'll probably watch again, that we want nothing to do with.
No.
So, man, oh man, there's a lot of surprising ones on both of our lists that I feel like are gonna be like, you know.
Well, a couple on yours definitely took me by surprise. Well, one, because you say it all the time, so I wasn't too surprised by it. But your number 5 right off the gate, I was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, I figured. Number 5 for me goes to Up. I just thought it was not entertaining. I just thought it was slow. But it was also, to its credit, it was also around the time that I was like becoming a teenager, and so like I never really gave it a chance, but even now I still don't watch it like that. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was slow. I just thought it was slow pacing, and everybody knows how I am with pacing, so that was the biggest reason.
Well, let me ask you a question though. Now that you're grown up, now that you're married, and have you watched it again from a married man standpoint? Because it's a lifelong love story about this couple who's endearing love over all the. I mean, I say go back and watch it now as a married man and see if there's any difference. See if there's any.
But,
You know what I mean?
I have not watched it. Yeah, I haven't watched it in many,
Now
many
maybe
years.
you can appreciate the love story aspect of it, even though it's kind of drawn out, right? Like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Just saying. I was shocked to see it on there, though. My number 5, Spring Breakers. I cannot fathom why this was liked by the critics. I'm sorry. This was a movie that was an hour and a half long, gratuitous shot of pretty young girls in bikinis, with no other purpose than to show pretty young girls in bikinis. It's basically, okay, so it's got Vanessa Hudgens, Selena Gomez, Ashley Benson. All beautiful young women, right? Scantily clad in bikinis. The premise of this movie is they're on spring break. They run out of money. They want to continue their vacation, so they rob a restaurant. They get busted. They're arrested. And guess what? A drug and arms dealer bails them out, and they start hanging out at his mansion for spring break. He's played by James Franco. So it's a fuck-up, twisted James Franco, who's in real life already had some creepy allegations against him, possibly about young... basically hanging out with these 3 young girls in bikinis doing crazy, stupid shit. I didn't get it. I didn't like it. I just didn't see the point of it. If you were going strictly to see these 3 girls in bikinis, fine. But you could have saw that anywhere. This movie why critics jumped on it, I couldn't possibly tell you. I thought it was like dumb as shit and pointless. My number 5, Spring Breakers. Dumb as shit and pointless.
Yeah, I never gave that one a chance.
It was
understandably so.
Yeah, just don't.
That's funny. Number 4 for me goes to the original Fargo. I just recently watched this one, and I just wasn't impressed. And I mean, people have talked about it for so long, and like the TV show where, you know, it's an anthology, so it spins off into its own thing and all of these different cases and stuff. But I'm talking about the original film, and I didn't connect with it, I guess. I just felt like the writing was weird. I couldn't decide whether or not it was going to be a comedy or a thriller or a drama. So like, I don't know. I just felt like the writer, and I mean, I forget who it is, but it's somebody, I just didn't think they knew what they were, you know, trying to accomplish. I felt like there was no real goal. They were just writing a story, and they didn't know how to interpret the story. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I just did not enjoy that film. So number 4 for me, Fargo.
I found it just entertaining, just in the I mean, everybody walked around trying to mimic the accent after that movie, right? That was like the thing. But yeah, I'm with you. I feel you. My number 4, I had really high hopes for. I love Darren Aronofsky as a director. I think he's brilliant. He's just one of my directors that I really like watching his stuff. So I'm thinking, Darren Aronofsky, this is going to be good. It's a phenomenal cast. Russell Crowe, Jennifer Connelly, Anthony Hopkins, and Emma Watson. With Darren Aronofsky. I'm like, okay. I'm talking Noah. I don't think I have to tell you what the story is about. Noah. But I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be an epic biblical adventure. I mean, you're in the veins of a Ben-Hur, the 10 Commandments, right? And with that cast and that director, hell yeah. Hell no. It was fucking boring as shit, even though they tried to make it adventurous. I'm with you on the pacing thing. It just did not flow for me. It was fucking boring as shit. And even when they had, like, supposed, like, edge of your seat shit, just didn't work for me. I was like, this could have been something really great, I thought, but it failed. It was not a Ben-Hur. It was not a 10 Commandments. And even with the cast, it just didn't click for me. That arc sank, and all the animals died. That's all I'm saying. It didn't work for me. Noah, my number 4. Couldn't click. Just didn't.
Understandably so. Yeah, I didn't want to watch that one either.
No, it just.
Number 3 for both of us goes to The Lighthouse. We have talked about this one quite often, and I mean, it was in a lot of people's conversation for the award season, and it just wasn't entertaining. Talk about pacing. That thing was so freaking slow, and then the story was just weird, man. Like, I mean, why are y'all fighting over a doll to like jerk off to? Like, I don't know, it was just weird. Like, William Dafoe and freaking Robert Pattinson before Batman, so we're like, okay, whatever. But it was really weird. I hated every second of it, and it was one of those times where I'm like, okay, are we gonna walk out? How much time's left? One of those things.
Oh yeah. It felt like we were in that theater for like hours. I mean, like hours and hours. It seemed like it was never going to fucking end, and. Yeah, it's just some weird shit. They're just weird scenes, and I get that isolation can sometimes make you go crazy. I get that isolation can make you hallucinate or just, what. But if that was the goal, it just didn't click. It was just erratic and all over the place, and it didn't make sense at times, and it was... It was just a lighthouse I wanted to get the fuck out of as quickly as possible. It just did not work. Right there with you. Lighthouse. In fact, it turned me off of lighthouses for a little bit. I just didn't even want to go to a fucking lighthouse because of the movie. Like, I was just like, fuck that shit. Yeah, just weird as fuck. And Willem Dafoe was weird as fuck to begin with. But he took it over the top in this fucking movie. Just, I don't even know, man.
Yeah, it was a little rough. Number 2 for me goes to Someday Maybe. Now, this is one with Anne Hathaway and other people, but it's supposed to be like this epic love story of these two people who are best friends and then tried to get together, and then like it didn't work, but then they each get different relationships, but they still have feelings for each other, and then they end up together, and then she gets hit by a bus.
Yeah,
like it was the most waste of time I felt like that I've ever watched. Like, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't for me. Like, even they came out with a show on Netflix kind of like loosely based around the same thing, and I'm just like, what? Why did we even go through all of that? So, I mean, that was one of those times where I was just like, what was the point?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? I understand it's life sometimes, but like, we're supposed to get away from things while we're watching movies and listening to music, and you show me this shit. So yeah, I did not feel for it. So number 2 for me is Someday Maybe.
Okay. I can honestly say I've never watched it, so I don't know. But that doesn't sound like I want to watch it, so maybe not. My number 2 somehow, some way, won the Academy Award for Best Picture. And to this day, I cannot rationalize it in my head why. I am talking about The Shape of Water by Guillermo del Toro, who's a brilliant director, fantastic director, normally really like his stuff. But this was an odd fucking, just weird-ass movie, a period piece, kind of set in the 50s or 60s, if I'm not mistaken, in this top-secret government facility where this woman who's a janitor falls in love with a space alien aqua figure. It's living in a tube of water. It's some sort of fucking alien underwater creature that she develops feelings for, and it's a love story between a janitor and an alien water creature. And it just didn't work for me. It was painful at times to watch. It felt really long. It drug out. I didn't understand the purpose of the love story aspect to it. I'm like, I felt like I didn't get enough. I'm like, I don't understand where the love story is coming from. What are you trying to say between her and this fucking fish man? I don't get it. And this thing was like talked about like it was the greatest piece of filmmaking ever in existence when it won the Oscar. And I'm like, it's fucking a Weird Al whacked version of like a space Aquaman or something. It was just totally... The Shape of Water. I have nothing else to... The only positive thing I will say about this is that it's something I can't say about my number one, in that I actually sat through the whole thing. I made it from start to finish, but I will never fucking watch it again. And just... Sorry, Guillermo. Look, man, you're a brilliant filmmaker, but that one... You got an Oscar for... I can't explain why. Me personally, I cannot explain it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's a weird one, bro.
Number one for me goes to one that I've talked about a lot, and I mean, I know you have different opinions on it, but I don't know. I was just so uncomfortable the whole time, and I'm talking about Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, and yeah. It made me really uncomfortable as someone who has, mental health issues and deal with it on a daily basis. I don't know. It made me really, really uncomfortable to be in the life of somebody who is much more in their mental health journey than I am. So, I mean, like I said, it just made me super uncomfortable the whole time. There were different aspects that I really enjoyed, but overall, I'm just like, okay, when's this going to be over? Because I am so uncomfortable the whole time. And like the whole thing with his mom bathing her and like the imaginations, it was just really out there that I just could not get a grasp on. So that's why. But yeah, number one for me, man, Joker. Not going to see the second one.
Okay. Yeah. No, we've talked about this on numerous past shows. So if anybody's a fan of the show, you know what we think about it. you know, so it was no surprise to me that it was on your list. If you're a fan of the show and you've listened to past episodes or whatever, you also know this one had to be at the top of my list because I said it constantly. My number one is Roma. Again, an Oscar contender, right? Directed by Alfonso Cuarón. I want to make sure I get his name right. I have yet to get through the movie. I have legitimately tried to watch this thing from start to finish, and I cannot get through it. I fall asleep. I lose interest. It in no way, shape, or form holds me at any point during the... It's boring as fuck. I don't understand. It's basically set in this like foreign town. I think it's Italy or Mexico. It's Mexico City, and it's this housekeeper that comes in to help take care of this family's kids and everything. And the father basically runs off with the mistress, and the wife decides she can't handle it all and she wants to go on vacation, and she invites the housekeeper to go on vacation with her with the kids, and the housekeeper finds out she's pregnant, so she's dealing with the pregnancy and all that. There's just so much going on in it, but it never connects for me. It never flows for me. It never holds my attention. I think where it fails is I didn't give a fuck that her husband cheated on her and ran away with the mistress. I didn't give a fuck that the housekeeper's pregnant. I didn't want to know why the housekeeper's pregnant. I didn't know why she wanted to take her on. I was never invested in a single one of the characters, so I didn't give a fuck to find out what happened to them. And maybe that's why I never finished the film. I just couldn't connect to it.
It's different.
There were so many other films that year that I feel like deserved the nomination over this film, and my number one, Roma. That's all I can say about it. I can't even finish it. That's how bad I think this film is. I have yet to be able to finish it. It's that bad. It's that bad.
There it is. Well, we want to know, what is your top 5 critically acclaimed films that you don't like? Please be sure to comment below or let us know your number one film that everybody loves, but you don't. Please be sure to comment in the YouTube section or add us on X, Threads, all the good places. We love the fan interaction.
We do.
Be sure to do that. Now heading over to the box office recap, Inside Out 2, of course, like we said, been dominating. They came in at $101.2 million for its like
Second
third
weekend. No,
weekend.
second weekend.
Second
Yeah.
weekend. That's
Yep.
insane.
It is.
Absolutely insane. Bad Boys Ride or Die came in at number 2 with $18.8 million. Bike Riders came in at number 3 with 9.7, which outdid their expectations.
It
They thought it
did.
was only going to get around 8. So, I mean, kudos to that. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes came in at number 4 with 3.8. And then the Garfield movie came in at number 5 with 3.7.
I think we agree on this, but it's unfortunate because I think the Bike Riders was a victim of just two blockbuster films out at the same time. Because my advice would be re-release this thing closer to the end of the year because this is an Oscar contender. Tom Hardy and Jodie Comer both should be nominated. The film should be nominated. This was a really great film that not enough people saw because two really other great films are out at the same time. But if you get a chance, guys, go see the Bike Riders because it's worth it. It's you'll enjoy it, I think.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. And new movies coming out this week are A Quiet Place Day 1, Horizon, American Saga Chapter 1, Daddy-O, A Sacrifice, and The Imaginary. So be sure to check those out in select theaters near you. Movies you can still go see right now: If, The Exorcism, The Watchers, Perugia, Mad Max Saga, and The Strangers Chapter 1. And then, of course, I mean, this comes by no surprise, this top trending segment for IMDb. The top trending movie is Inside Out 2. Of
course.
No surprise. Top trending TV show, The Boys. No surprise.
No.
And sadly, the top trending the top trending star is Donald Sutherland, which is by no surprise. But I did like, after his passing, I saw all of these different things of Kiefer talking about his dad. I thought that was really nice. And got me teared up on a couple of videos. Freaking TikTok. But man, it's a beautiful thing.
And how cool too. I didn't know, but Kiefer and the other son are named after directors that he worked with, that he like the films were very important to him, and the sons are named after the directors.
That is pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome. I didn't realize that. I had never heard that before, so that was kind of cool to like learn these things as we're seeing these tributes, which was like, oh, that's fucking badass.
Yeah, pretty freaking awesome. That's for sure.
Yep.
But man, oh man, thank you all for tuning in to this episode of ITCAF Podcast. We got to thank you all one more time for getting crazy with us on episode 263 of ITCAF Podcast. That's absolutely insane. Be sure to follow the company and the podcast on social media at Crazy Ant Media, at ITCAF Podcast, at the LP Film for our film that we're doing right now. And be sure to go to our Indiegogo page, that's for sure. And then, of course, our mental health podcast, Everything's OKP, is a new episode is out right now, so be sure to check that out. And you guys know you can follow us both personally on social media. Myself at J Logan Austin and
at Crazy Ant CEO.
That's right. That's right. And you guys know you can subscribe to this podcast and Everything's Okay on podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. This one's available on Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, and so much more. And then, of course, you can watch anything and everything coming out of Crazy Ant Media on our YouTube channel, Crazy Ant Media. So be sure to subscribe.
Hell yes.
Be sure to also visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. We got a little bit of everything, man. A little bit of everything for everyone. So be sure to check that out. But man, oh man, what a great freaking show. I mean, there was a lot happening, that's for sure. But I think, this time around, I just felt like there was a lot of original content to announce. I mean, of course, shows coming back and things like that. But compared to last week when we had so many freaking announcements about sequels and going back to original IP and things like that, I felt like this show was a lot of newer content with original ideas, at least, that weren't already established IP.
Agreed. It was a really entertaining week to watch trailers, because there were a lot of trailers that hit this week of original shit that actually was making me laugh or making me like, oh, fuck, I need to see that. Trailers that are actually make you excited, and it's not something that you've seen before. So there was a lot of that. And so, yeah, I'm right there with you. That was really exciting to actually fucking see shit that you're like, oh, that's an original fucking idea. Who the fuck doesn't want to see J.K. Simmons as Santa Claus, for Christ's sake? That's fucking awesome. So, or a balding Mark Wahlberg as a fucking psychopath. Who doesn't want to see that? I really Yeah, it's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. I'm right there with you. And of course, you know, the all of the shit that blew up with the Superman costume, bro. So much back and forth about, like, you know, and I saw one person say, and it's like, why can't we have both? Why can't it be okay to be dark without the trunks and bright with the trunks and both be okay? They've both been in the comic books. You probably bought both comic books. Why can't we just be okay with different versions of the... And I'm like, that's it, man. That's the attitude you have to have. Don't fucking hate on something just because... And how long have we been hearing over the last 10 years that they were pissed that the trunks were gone? Well, he needs the trunks. Now that they're back, they're pissed that they're back. I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Just let the shit go. And as filmmakers, you and I know, and anybody out there that does this, that is not how it's going to look in the finished product. This hasn't been color graded. It hasn't been touched up. It hasn't been... That is not even what it's going to fucking look like. So chill the fuck out until you see it. And then but I love it, though. I love that there's so much excitement and or back and forth about it, right? Because, I mean, it's definitely... And then, of course... We can't stop talking about it. I am so fucking excited for Deadpool and Wolverine. You know, I'm a lifelong Wolvie guy since I was yay high. That's my guy. That's my fucking... And he's finally fucking Wolverine. We got that in Logan, and we're getting it in this. I fucking love it. I'm so excited about it.
So funny, so funny. Well, for 263 episodes, we have to thank the one, the only,
Oprah!